Shall fetch that link.
Really?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I muted myself and did that, but I
Lama.
Wow.
Great start.
Wonderful.
Classy.
So
Does anybody remember how to add the tokens? Because I
was
do
that
not.
was that in character? Yeah, bottom right there's a little plus sign. And in there is also a plus sign.
Thank you. Best bug.
Normally I won't let that all go. I was muting.
No, you're just starting off strong.
Wait, no.
Good
A
job,
little
good
bit
job.
embarrassed, not too bad, but a little bit.
Let's see.
Right, I need to open up everybody's streams.
That is not a normal occurrence out of me. Good thing I wasn't sitting on the bowl letting one rip.
Lamau.
You never would have seen me again. I don't know. I heard an explosion and then he disconnected.
I know somebody who did that on somebody else's stream. He
Oh, no.
he was playing with a friend and I was watching the friend's stream and you just hear a deep rumbling in the background and the guy's like, "Are you okay, guy?" And he's like, "Wait, did you hear that?" I said, "Yeah,
Oh,
what was
no.
that?" He's like, "I just farted."
Oh no!
Like it just sounded like a deep fucking dragon roar. It was horrible.
My waxing lady actually ripped ass a couple times earlier when she was pulling wax off me.
Oh my god.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
Yep.
Did you give her a tip though? Because that's like exclusive only. For
True. Most people have to pay extra for that.
exactly.
No.
How do I change my name on Oliver? I'm
The
so defunct right now.
Pen in the bottom left.
Hmm.
All right, I'll give so I was on a date once with this girl and
Oh,
we were
no.
doing this thing where you like
I'm back.
have a coin and you like flick it and spin it and then you do like a basketball with it into their hands, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And
Sure.
so we're doing that back and forth and she taught me how to cheat where you blow on the coin. But I'm on this date and I'm in her house and I'm nervous. And so like my tummy's rumbling and the little thing, you know, and so
no.
gas is building up, but I'm just
Oh,
holding
no.
it in.
Oh
I'm
no.
like, when I get out of here, I'm gonna let it go. Well, I blow on this coin, right? But I did like a big blow and I farted
Oh no.
so loud. And I was sitting on the floor and like
Oh no.
the whole house felt like it rumbled. It was like a truck had hit the side of it.
Nice.
Crazy. The acoustics in this room were good. And her eyes looked at me so wide, and I just pretended that nothing happened. Like,
Oh,
I didn't hear the asteroid.
Oh my god.
even better.
Now see, that's when you lean in all suave and you give her the bedroom eyes and you say, "So is that a deal breaker?"
I couldn't say anything at that point. I'm sure she knew that I knew because my face was probably super red.
Oh boy.
You were
That's
just
wonderful.
taking the,
Loud.
you were taking the whoever smelt it dealt it route.
Right?
The smell, there wasn't a smell. I mean, the smell didn't matter. It was so loud, and there was like a physical shaking component to it.
No smell, just your own drum solo.
No, it was deep and loud.
Didn't hear the asteroid. Exactly. Hi,
my
friend.
God.
Wow.
God.
That's hilarious.
My
Alright,
fucking
this
face
seems
hurts.
We've been live for what, 10 minutes? Not even 10 minutes, I'm gonna die. Everything's fine, don't worry about it.
I mean, isn't it on par that we start every session with weird bullshit?
Yeah,
Yes?
makes perfect sense.
This time it
True.
wasn't because of me though, so I'm pretty happy.
Today it's just bodily expulsion.
There was so when I was in Houston, I worked for an oil company, and the running gag was if we could make it all the way through lunch without making a shit joke,
Oh no.
like everybody would buy dessert. It never happened. Shit became a topic of conversation at least every fucking day. I don't know how. I worked there for 7 years. Oh my god.
Secretly, it's because you said that. Everyone started purposely mentioning shit so they didn't have to buy a dessert.
Yeah, probably.
All right, I have a little bit of
Ready to
food
go?
in me. I'm starting to feel more human now.
Excellent.
Human.
Feeling more human so you can
Human.
play a non-human.
Yep.
Man!
Perfect.
Feel more human.
Human from accounting.
Yeah. What's that from? I feel like it's from something.
League.
It's from a lot of things.
I know it from League.
It wasn't from you yet. You know, you're right, Pens. That's true. We've barely been live. I have plenty of time to do something weird. What else would we do? Also, by the way, you guys should definitely be using the multi-stream.
Yes.
Look at that. Ta-da!
Exclamation point multi. We've got 3 people streaming tonight.
And so you can screen, Zen screen, and the DM screen, which is probably much more entertaining than my own.
Yeah. Although all I've really got right now is the map up. So.
Yeah.
Same thing.
All right.
Map schmap.
Are we ready to get started?
I think so.
Let's do it.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Let me see. Let me put myself together.
Oh, shit, that's... What do I say?
Okay, there's that screen.
In a world where things have gone terribly awry.
Get out of here, Death.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my fault.
Different voice. Different voice.
Get out of here, Death.
Hi, I'm Paul.
Oh, sorry,
Nice.
In a world where shit has gone awry,
Please no.
Oh god.
where's my
right.
tractor?
So, any of you who may have looked around at this map that I posted or got set up here, you may have noticed this map is rather large. For the effects, for the events of this game, we're mostly going to be staying. Oh, hang on.
What?
I'm still trying to figure out how to use this Owlbear app, but we're basically going to be just around the Sea of Fallen Stars area. And
Okay.
the
Okay.
Unity, so right around this area mostly.
Okay.
Let me see.
Getting
Sorry, I don't know why I'm so backwards. You'd think I'd be ready.
Oh, did somebody draw something?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, somebody did in fact draw something.
Interesting.
Okay.
hiding in a tree by there. Don't.
It stayed.
Really?
What?
That's his line of sight. That's it. The guy that's hiding in the tree, that's his line of sight.
Immersive.
A knight is in the sea.
Let's see.
That wasn't me.
It
Did
was
you guys hear that? Oh, was that your sound effect? Oh, okay.
no sound effect. No, I put the token on the board, but
If I have any
Alright.
more sound effects tonight, I'll try to mute myself.
Thank you. Very polite of you. I appreciate that. All right. So, our story begins, as I've already told you, on a ferry. Trade is the lifeblood of any city on the sea, next to the water. And ferries trade and travel all over the Sea of Fallen Stars, amongst all these capitals and cities, all the way up the Dragon Reach and into the Moon Sea. It's the lifeblood of trade that has kept Thentia alive for all this time. I'm sorry, hang on. Are you guys still hearing that sound effect?
I don't hear anything.
I don't hear anything.
I don't hear anything either.
For some reason, I can't tell if it's my sound effects or not coming from my stream, but occasionally I just hear somebody go, ah, got
Probably my
you.
sister.
Oh. Are you guys not hearing that? Like, you're not hearing that me? I don't know if that's me or not.
I think it's
It's
just
been so long since I've used OBS. I don't know what anyone's sound effects are anymore. I
Oh,
think
God.
it's just you. Anyway, all right. I'm just going to try to ignore that. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, so ferries travel all across the Sea of Fallen Stars and into the various reaches to all the different towns, and that's where our story begins.
Like a ferry boat or like a small winged figure?
Ferry boat.
Okay, here we go.
Like trading caravans and ferry boats carrying
F-E-R-Y,
travelers and goods all around.
E.
Yeah, I get it. Are they run by fairies?
No, they're not.
All right.
Our story begins aboard one such ferry boat. God, you got me doing it. Ferry. It has spent a few months at sea, traveling north and east along the Symbian coast. We find ourselves aboard a ferry, our whole group, as well as several deckhands, the captain, of course, and a few miscellaneous travelers and such, all bound for Thentia. Some of you had joined at different cities. Some of you had joined at random times. But as our story begins, we find ourselves, some of us having been on the boat for a few months, some of us a few weeks, finally rising up the Dragon Reach and narrowing down into the River Lease. And the captain announces to the crew and passengers alike, this is basically the last leg of their trip. And as you enter the River Lease, the sun starts to set. And as the crew pulls in the sails and a couple men take to the rows to gently bring us up the river into the mouth of the river, people start to wind down for a night's sleep. And before things actually kick off, we'll have a chance for everyone to kind of mingle and potentially introduce yourselves if you like. So the story begins at night. We are on the deck of a ferry. There's a few people around, and characters can choose to place themselves wherever on the boat. I don't have a map for it, so we're just going to roleplay it a second.
Okay.
Sweet.
I think Iware is probably seated. I'm gonna assume there's like a cabin section where the crew like stays. He's probably seated somewhere close to this essentially tower in the center of this boat, and he's probably just sitting there polishing his shield and sharpening his long sword and just keeping his stuff nice and tidy.
Beach sounds. Nice. Yes. Good job.
Nice.
The beach.
Hi.
Hold on a second. That was suddenly very loud.
All right.
Oh no, and it's not your fault. I turned it down on my end. It's good. And I think he's just basically waiting for them to arrive in their destination. Probably keeping an eye out for wherever Rowan may have gotten off to.
Artis would be near the prow of the ship, watching the waves and the stars, and very quietly feeding treats to her raven pet.
Okay. The waters are calm and the breeze is gentle. There are no clouds and the stars shine brightly. It's actually a very lovely evening.
I think I'd probably be, you know, those like ropes on the sides of ships, probably sitting in that.
The rigging?
Yeah, the rigging.
Like over the side of the ship?
Like, this ship is still under me, not the ocean. But like up, I guess. How do I describe? I don't know boats.
An elevated position in the rigging.
Yes.
Right, so like you're off the side of the ship, above the water, but like you're off the side of the ship. Is that what I'm hearing?
Does the rigging lean over the edge of the ship? I thought the rigging went up towards the sails of a boat usually.
That's what I thought normally, but he said it was like a net of ropes on the side of the ship.
Hold on. Maybe I can find like a picture. For what I mean.
Oh, also, my audio working for my stream?
It is not actually. I meant to tell you that.
I just thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you know it's not working. I meant to tell you.
Like no, not like
cool.
I was waiting for a break in like the role play to be like, hey, by the way, because like I didn't want to like just interject and interrupt everyone and disrupt their flow and shit. Like
Listen here, fucko. Your shit's not working.
Holy shit!
All right.
Hey, yo, bitch.
Take my stream. Mic and stuff is working now.
Yes, it is.
All right, cool. So anyone that may have been watching my stream has just been watching silence and a map. So hopefully they've been watching your streams as well. And figuring
Okay.
out what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
All right, so yeah,
like that kind of rigging.
guessing you posted it in Discord.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So
Okay,
over the
alright.
ship, not out into the water.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, John, you never changed your name unless your character's name is Buttalicious.
I think he's done.
Oh, you're talking about in Discord.
Yes.
He is Buttalicious.
Sing to the tune of Fergalicious?
I heard the exact.
Buttalicious definition. Make them boys go loco.
Yeah.
No more or we'll
Okay,
get DMCA'd.
Wait, no, I got it wrong. Hold on. Shit.
Okay.
There.
B-U-T-T.
What?
Okay, so is that all you were gonna say?
So your tabaxi is kind of lounging up in the rigging over top of the ship.
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Being antisocial, I get it. You're a cat.
I'm looking at
Mood.
people just like occasionally. I'm
Wait,
people
where
watching.
was the cat?
In the
Up
rigging.
Okay.
Up in the rigging above the ship.
Hila is also being antisocial, hanging out up at the very top of the crow's nest by herself, contemplating things very deeply and oblivious to everything going on around her.
Awesome.
Nice. Rowan
Party
is,
of wallflowers, great.
Rowan is on the upper deck of the ship outside, probably desperately clinging to the edge of one, trying to stand on her toes and look over the edge, and taste the water and see the stars, craving the adventure and hoping for a rush of adrenaline.
Neat.
I imagine I would be in a quiet corner, someplace where I can sit that is clean, and studying some books or journals to increase my knowledge, and trying to weave my consciousness in with the web of magic that surrounds us all, to control it and bend it to my will.
I think Eyewear will notice Rowan trying to throw herself off the deck of the ship. And he's gonna look up and shake his head. You shouldn't be that close to the edge.
Well, then God should have given me more inches.
Phrasing.
Perfect.
he'd have given you more inches, you'd just be more of a problem.
Well, that's just your opinion.
Nice.
Okay.
Don't forget who pulled you down from that rope.
How many times do I have to tell you? It was a misunderstanding.
Now, I know that, but I still put you down from the rope.
Artis is going to overhear this conversation and smile slightly.
Conversation grinds to a halt there.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Rowan would wave her hand at him and continue trying to pull herself over the edge and look over.
And as long as she isn't actually about to fall off the edge, I'm just gonna continue, polishing my shield or whatever the regiment thing I'm doing at the moment.
How are we where are we again? Like in the river?
Yeah, we're in the northern bit of the Dragon Reach. We've just entered the River Lease
Okay.
right now. So I think the plan for the sailors is that they're trying to coast up into the mouth of the River Lease and through the first part of it through the night. That way, come daybreak, they can get across the Moon Sea and get to Thentia sometime early morning.
Okay.
I want to look around for like a fishing pole.
You look around for a fishing pole?
Yeah, it's a boat.
Right.
You gonna catch fish?
I don't know.
It's not unheard of, but you look around on the deck and you don't see any fishing poles just laying around. You see a couple barrels next to the doorway that leads below decks, but that's really about it. Aside from a bundle of rope, as far as loose items on deck.
Okay.
Artis is going to whisper at her Raven Fae and send it flying toward Rowan to see if she can distract the small person from leaning too far off the ship.
Rowan catches sight of the bird and gets a bit startled by it, but then she's absolutely enthralled. Are you a magic bird?
The bird will cock its head.
Have you been on lots of adventures?
It'll squawk.
I want to go on so many adventures. You should tell me all about yours.
Faye is going to land on Rowan's shoulder and play with her hair. Her?
Yes.
Rowan, yes.
Had to check.
Yes, had to check. With her hair and squark.
Why?
Not good with bird noises, so I will refrain for
Caw.
respect of everyone else.
Caw.
Totally
Caw.
fair. Oh my god.
There's the noise. There's the bird noise.
Fuck's
We got
sake.
it.
Rowan will be absolutely enthralled with the bird now on her shoulder and start walking around on the deck, telling her many stories.
Artis will smile and start studying the stars and keep an eye on the two children aboard.
Iwer is going to look up, see Rowan interacting with this bird, and just kind of sigh to himself.
Here we go again.
Oh, antics and such are had for another couple of hours. I don't know when anyone plans on going to sleep or anything for the night, but mundane antics are had. Rowan plays around with this crow, walking around deck up and down,
He
muttering.
is a raven, sir.
What did I say?
Crow.
Bro.
Crow, raven. I'm sorry.
I didn't know there
Knew
was a
it was
difference.
raven.
Craven.
The Craven.
Craven. Yeah, it's a craven.
I
seen it.
I think as Iweir kind of finishes up, you know, having his equipment all polished and ready and sharpened, etc. He's basically gonna end up falling asleep right in this chair because he's not gonna go anywhere. He's here to guard the deck. He guards wherever he is, essentially.
Zosimus was like studying. Was he reading a book?
Yeah, just reading a book and journals and whatever he has handy or he can find around. He has a thirst for knowledge.
And where was he at?
Without a description of the boat, just some quiet area that's relatively clean.
Okay.
On the top deck or like somewhere below decks?
Probably on the top deck, you know?
Okay. I would say Rowan probably wandered around until she caught sight of Zosimus with his amount of books. And then she hurried over to him and says, "Oh, are you reading a book? I love books. What's your book about?" And before she gives him a chance to answer, she plops down next to him and says, "I've read so many wonderful books. The last one that I had a good gander at, it was about a captain chasing after this massive white whale who was going to grant him wishes. It was a wonderful tale of friendship and adventure. Have you heard of it?"
I'm sure it was fantastic. Were there any words in this book, or was it all pictures?
Reproachfully at how do you say your name again? Zosimus?
Zosimus.
Zazie.
Zazie. His name is now Zazie.
You've likely heard tales of me.
Do you have a multitude of surnames?
You know what? That had crossed my mind. But no, it didn't include that in this character.
Rowan will cross her arms and give him a stink face and say, "Well, you know, if you prefer picture books, that's up to you, but I won't regale you with all of the books that I've read." And then she'll walk off.
I will watch her walk away. Curious individual that she is.
She'll go back to talking to the Raven.
When the Raven is better conversation than you.
Exactly.
He's going to braid himself and then squawk again at Zosimus.
Can a mage hand choke something?
I believe so, yes, but I don't think it's strong enough to like cut off air.
You know what? I will mage hand and shoo the crow away.
Wow.
Wow.
Offensive.
It's toxic.
I won't strike it or anything. I'll just shoo.
Yeah,
Going out of your way to mage hand.
Go back.
Mage hand can only move up to 10 pounds of pressure at any given time, so it's not like it would even like it would hurt the raven.
I am a very powerful sorcerer. My mage hand can do mighty things.
It is a pretty rude
well.
judgment.
From the prow of the ship, if you harm the Raven, you won't live to regret it.
I go back to reading my arcane scripture.
Shop done, you got that, miss.
It's had to keep me safe while I've been traveling. This is why birds are better than people to start with.
I won't disagree.
And with that, it kind of kills the conversation for the night. Everyone kind of resumes their own thing, minding their own business for another half an hour or so before eventually everybody sort of settles down and drifts off to bed. Around the earliest ass crack of dawn,
Ugh.
the first of the party members who may consider themselves to be early risers could start to wake up. This is still very early even for them, though. But the crew of the ship starts to get up, start bustling, and it's impossible for everyone to stay down for long. On the last stretch of the river lease, the crew are starting to more of the crew are starting to man the oars as they're coming up to this cross section from the flooded forest. Normally, there's a small unnamed fishing village here, just a couple of docks where traders like to stop occasionally just to ask about weather and how things have been on the Moon Sea lately. Today, or this morning, the sun illuminates a different sight, and it's kind of jarring for the captain of the ship. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes too. As you come up on this small fishing village, you see across, or stretched about 2/3 of the way, all the way across the river lease, effectively blocking the passageway, sits a medium war vessel. And amongst this tiny fishing village, the sight is practically alien. It's a large wooden warship of stained dark black. Wooden warship that is stained a dark black. And the ironwork is all rough forged. And there's a flag flying from the mast depicting an upright black gauntlet with the thumbs and fingers connected to form a fist. If anyone would like to roll either history or religion, go for it.
I can roll for
I'll
religion.
roll some history.
Anyone wants to try to identify this flag?
Roll history. Well,
Let's see.
I'm gonna roll it off my freaking table. Okay, we're not using that one tonight. 17.
Okay.
I have a 19 with religion.
Okay.
I got a 16 history.
Okay.
I got a 6 history.
I also have
Nice.
a 19 in oh no wait. 19. 21 in either.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
So
that
Yeah, I only got an 8.
I mean I rolled
Okay.
a 19 and I have +2 intelligence and I'm not proficient in those.
gotcha. Well, those of you who rolled below a 10 don't recognize it, aside from something that's not good. It's definitely trouble. But those of you who rolled above a 15, you are able to identify these things, or these symbols. Specifically, you're able to tell that this is a warship belonging to the Zentarum.
can you spell that?
Yes, Zhent. I just brain blanked and I'm looking it up.
ARIM.
Yes.
ARIM. Okay.
With my roll, my low history roll, but my background as a former soldier turned city watch, do I recognize this as a war vessel?
Yeah, you absolutely recognize that this is a war vessel.
All right, so
Specifically, this is a medium-sized galleon.
yeah, so Iware, seeing this, is going to position himself always, no matter how the ship moves, between or as close to that opposing ship as he can to deflect anything. He's going to get up and run to the edge of the deck and heft his shield up and be ready for anything.
A number of other crewmen have similar notions. Those that aren't rowing will kind of run up to the front of the ship and along the edge and try to peer more closely at the ship. Some of the crew begin muttering nervously to themselves. And those of you who rolled especially high on that, the flag specifically, you were able to recognize. The ship belongs to the Zents, but the flag specifically represents a specific faction of the Zentarum known as the Order of the Black Fist. This is basically their militant arm. The captain
So, like,
having
the
the
army.
basically, yeah, it's like
Okay.
the Zentarum as a whole are basically like this religious sect / cult
Great.
thing.
Wonderful.
Yeah. The captain, having caught word of what's happening, looks over the boat and kind of shakes his head, trying his best to not look nervous. There's no way we'll be able to get around them, and they'll definitely be able to outrun us. We're gonna have to dock and see what they want.
Artis is going to send Faye out to the sky so that he can join her later. She doesn't want him involved in whatever's about to happen.
Okay. So the raven kind of caws and flits up to the sky to keep a bird's eye view of what's happening.
And at this point, hearing that we're going to dock and confront these people, Iwear is going to draw his longsword, which, if anyone is looking, initially looks like just a regular old longsword, but as he actually brandishes it in his hand, it's going to shimmer and become ethereal.
The heck was it?
Captain kind
That
of
was
gives you a
roll 20 noise.
The captain kind of gives you a wary side glance and says, "Hopefully it won't come to that, but good that you're prepared, I guess." He kind of steps off. He kind of steps away from you and starts barking out orders to the crew to make ready to dock.
But before he steps away, I want to look at him and I said, "A wise merchant once told me, hope in one hand and shit in the other, and see which one fills up faster."
The captain barks out a surly laugh. He goes, I think I've heard something similar before.
Rowan, seeing Iwear draw his sword, senses the seriousness and equally seriously draws her very tiny dagger.
So, slowly over the course of about 10 minutes, the ship is ponderously brought into dock on the side of the river. There are a few figures standing up on the deck of the Zentarum galleon, but none of them are moving. Inside, just inside the fishing village, standing up on the dock, waiting for your ship to park itself, basically, stand 8 robed men. They're dressed in chainmail with dark gray clergy robes, all with the same gauntleted fist symbol on their chests. 7 of them are helmed, and their faces are half obscured, but they're being led by a young man with a pale complexion and dusty brown hair, and soft, kind of watery but piercing brown eyes. Leads them up onto the deck of the ferry ship with you. Everyone kind of gives them a wide berth. The 7 men kind of form up into a line behind him, but he sort of steps forward from the group and like he's about to introduce himself and sort of clears his throat and says, "Greetings, travelers. I hope the waves have found you well. My name is Aaron Stonestrike, and I work with the Zentarum here on the Moonsea. Some of you may have heard of us, but for those of you who haven't, we're something of a mercenary group, and due to the increased monster activity in the area, we've taken it upon ourselves to occupy this branch of the river leading up to the Moonsea. With trade being so valuable, we have to do what we can to protect the trade routes from monster attacks and such. So, as such, we'll do a quick inventory of the ship's cargo, and after a quick taxation, we'll have you folks along your way. If you'll sit tight and give us your cooperation, this should only take just a few minutes." And he says it all with like a warm, approachable smile, but at the same time, he gives off an aura like he's not really going to broker an argument on this.
Taxation.
Yes, a couple of the crewmen start to mutter themselves, and the captain gets a sour look. Clearly, none of them are happy with this. But considering the 8 armed men who are now on deck, it seems impractical to argue.
Rowan will look at the furrowed faces of everybody around her, and then look to the new invaders and say, "Are you good guys or bad guys?"
Aaron gives a wide grin and as warm as he can smile and says, I like to think of us as the good guys. We try to help people that can't help themselves, protect them from bad things out in the world.
I think
Some
the
people
whole
have given
ship-
us kind of a hard name because we do have to do things that others don't like. But we try to do it for the general good of the populace. I hope you understand.
I wear is gonna just look at this dude and scoff.
Yeah, he just wants money.
Protect-
Yeah, I agree.
Protecting people doesn't require tax.
All
Yep.
7 of the armed guards lock eyes on you as Aaron kind of smiles at you apologetically. As I understand, and normally we don't do this, but the monster attacks have become much, much more violent. And simply put, we just don't have the means to do it. We don't have the means to send teams all over the place to protect every city. We need more resources for that. And so we're instituting a small tax on any travelers who happen to be passing through just to help try to pay for that cost. You understand?
Artis is going to ask, were you asked by the villagers in this area to protect them, or did you volunteer for that?
I was asked by some of the leaders of the Zentara. They know how dire it is, the situation is in this area, specifically with pirates further down into the Sea of Stars.
That was not my question, sir, but thank you for your answer.
You're welcome.
I say, good sir, what type of monsters are terrorizing this area?
He looks, for a flash of an instant, he looks a bit annoyed, but the almost middle manager polite face comes back just a second later. He says, why any manner of beastie? Wild bears and wolves in the area. Some reports that they're freakishly larger. The odd drake every now and then wandering in from the flooded forest.
Drakes. How much larger?
He kind of gives you a level look and says, I'm not presently familiar with the details. I just know that they were larger and more aggressive than usual.
So your party has not seen any of these creatures that are assaulting this land, this area?
We've only been here for about a week or so, and we've been fortunate enough to not see anything yet.
Fortunate?
Yes.
Is it fortune that favors you? Or is it your bullshit?
He kind of stares at you with a level look, and the guards behind him start to get, like, the tension all, like, ratchets up another notch amongst the entire group. And Aaron gives you a level look and says, I don't think I appreciate your tone.
I don't think I appreciate yours either. I've made it my life's work to protect people, and I've never once asked for anything in return.
Well, then you're a fool, I suppose, but I hope that hermit life is working out for you.
Rowan will look at the row of men up and down and go, wow. So you mean this small army of yours can't defeat the monsters that you described? My friend Iweir over here has defeated many monsters. Perhaps you should leave and he can defend the area.
I'd be happy to.
If you wish to stay here indefinitely by yourself, feel free.
Monsters aren't immortal, friend.
Can you tell me what type of drake have been seen?
Whoa.
Whoa, what happened to your mic quality?
Did
He's
you
casting
eat them out?
message.
Yeah, like
I don't know what happened there, but you teleported back to the 80s and we're on the radio station, man.
Hello.
early 2000s Xbox Live over here.
Oh no.
Oh man. Yes, Demi brings a good question for Iweir. Did you ever accept food for protecting people?
It was probably forced upon him, but he never requested it.
All right then.
He probably had. He's like, he was a member of the City Watch, and he's a good guy. He tries to keep everyone happy and on equal footing as best he can. So if a motherly person he helped decided that she was going to make dinner for him, he wouldn't have denied her the pleasure of serving him, but he never would have requested anything in return.
I mean,
Yes.
when he helped Rowan, she offered him the grace of her companionship, but he said no, but she insisted.
So Simos will have a pad of paper out, journal, and a quill, and I will ask what type of drakes have people been seeing?
Sounding a little audibly annoyed by this point, Aaron admits. Swamp drakes, black drakes, green drakes, common drakes amongst the swampy lands and marshlands in this area. I'm no dragon expert.
All right, so it's swamp, black, green drakes. Did you say?
Yes, black and green drakes are common in swamps.
I believe there was one. Are there a lot of? Okay, there are swamps here, Greg.
Yes, the flooded forest is
Flooded
basically
forest.
one giant swamp.
Okay, excellent. So I have swamp, black, green, and there was one more, if I'm not mistaken.
Common.
Common drakes. Are those common around these parts then?
Rowan will see Zosimus writing intently and pull out her own little notebook and begin scribbling in it.
I fucking love this
I will-
guy.
I will look over at you. I will give you a nod of approval. Knowledge is power.
Oh,
Aaron gives a kind of huffing sigh and says, "They're as common as drakes ever are," Aaron, which is to say, not very common, but they do harass villages nearby. Now, time for questions has passed. We
Kind
shall
of
search
an
the
uncommon
cargo,
comment.
collect. We shall search the ship's cargo. We shall quickly search the ship's cargo, collect our taxation, and you folks will be on your way.
What are you
Men
searching for?
And the 7 men behind him immediately, like all in sync, start to step forward towards you and the lower decks of the cargo ship.
I will step in
exactly
between
will
them
you
and the lower decks.
what exactly will you be taking as tax? You haven't really defined that.
From what he said so far, what he means to do is basically search and inventory the entire contents of the ship, and then tax a portion of what it is, because it's all trade goods anyway.
But they aren't his. Why does he get to do that?
Because he's guarding, quote unquote, the river,
Yeah.
and he's extorting tax out of people basically who are passing through.
Yeah. Iweir is not going to stand for that. He's going to stand in front of the stairs down to the lower decks.
So you step in front of the marching wall of guards as they.
Absolutely.
The guard closest to you. As you step up to the line, the guard closest to you reaches up with his offhand to like grab you by the front of your chest plate to push you physically out of the way.
Okay.
I'm guessing you don't take that.
No, not at all.
All right, I figured not. Everybody roll initiative.
Wait, can I do something before?
Oh dear.
If you can make it in a bonus action, yes.
This is not a bonus action. Then
What
no.
is it you want to do?
I wanted to hop down from the crow's nest, shout "Taxation is theft," and cast color spray.
I'll let that be the opening to your fight. That would be pretty awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, everybody roll initiative.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm still
We'll
writing
get a
the
modifier.
note about the color spray.
Right.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
7.
Iweir got 14.
Ela has 17.
Let's see. I have an 18.
I don't know what happened, and this is not what I wanted, but Zosimos got 22.
Nice.
Just sit on your initiatives for a second. I'll collect them as soon as I've got Aaron's. I gotta pull up his character sheet.
I have to figure out how this works. I don't really know how this spell works. I'm gonna be real with you.
Hold on, I'll look it up.
I'm sitting here reading mine too.
I roll 60, 10. The total is how many hit points or of creatures the spell can affect.
So basically, you roll 60-10, and then for each creature whose health points fit within what you rolled, they are blinded.
Okay.
So, like, if there's 3 creatures, they have 30 hit points, and you roll 60, you can blind 2 of them, but not the third.
Okay.
Changing music.
Okay.
I also want to change the map briefly.
Wood.
Okay. And are you guys able to edit these sticky notes that I'm placing by chance?
Uh,
I can move it.
yes.
Okay. If you guys would be so kind as to change the color to your desired color, whatever, and then just write in your initiative
Oh,
while I set the stage for
Purposely.
this.
What was mine again? Hey, who stole the red one?
I didn't mean to make it red. I had mine
I
pink.
made it red. Okay.
Oh. I don't know. I dragged
That's
this
alright.
one down and started editing it.
alright.
My bad.
I don't know how to write in this.
If you click on it, it should pop up with a color box and right above the color
Oh,
circles. Yeah, there you go.
Putting them in order.
We have 2 light blues. What do we do?
Zen taking on the role of mother.
The organizer.
I wanted
She
to pick my
likes her
first blue
organization,
box,
man.
so I had to make
Can't
another
help
one.
it. I can't.
That's what I was calling my blue box.
Beg your pardon?
Oh my god. Also, I was gonna say, I totally slept in the rigging.
Okay. So are
You
you
are a
still
cat.
currently up in the rigging?
Probably.
Have you just slept through this whole encounter?
No, I
Did you
said
notice
something.
the dick
no one
drawn on
heard
your
it.
face?
Can you draw a dick on a tabaxi? Like,
I
they
mean,
have
probably, I guess.
Did
Probably
you
would
feel
be
your
kinda
hair
hot.
being shaven from
fur.
your
There we go.
We need a hypoallergenic tabaxi on this ship.
Oh my god. Allergic to my own hair. Naked to
Oh my god, stop! It's making me itchy.
I got de-haired today. I'm fine.
Sin's bald now.
That's not how that works.
It is now.
No?
For the love of God, please align them on the y-axis too. I figured they were about to get moved, and look, they are.
Yeah, I'm just trying to generalize them before I like zoom up. I'm gonna straighten them up and stuff too.
That fucking mask is creepy, dude.
Yeah, I don't have emblems for any of the characters, so I've just got those constructs for the.
Right.
No, I think that fits his personality perfectly. I like it.
I agree. It's
I'm
very
like,
fitting.
Yeah, I was trying to give him like the middle, a very middle manager vibe, basically.
I'd believe it.
All right, that's gonna have to be good enough. That's fine. All right, and you can place your emblems as well.
I don't have a token for this character. I guess I have to make a character. I'll use my old one for now. Imagine that this is not a tiefling, but a fairy.
I mean, she's
Cheers.
got wings.
They're
Cheers.
already so similar. Let's
Yep.
be honest. Where would the rigging be?
Yeah, where would the front of the ship? Because I'm pretty sure that's where I slept.
We'll call the front of the ship is this direction.
Okay.
Oh, great. I definitely don't want to be on that side of the ship.
Behind enemy lines.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay, I think the rigging would be. That's like the